Imagine a figure as iconic as Wyatt Earp, as legendary as Billy the Kid. Picture a man who embodies the raw courage, the relentless pursuit of justice characteristic of the Wild West, yet his name often eludes the pages of mainstream history. Bass Reeves, a man who stood taller than most in an era of lawlessness and disorder. A man whose life was as thrilling as a novel, yet as real as the dust beneath a cowboy's boots. In the grand narrative of the Wild West, few figures have been as overlooked, as underappreciated as Bass Reeves. This man, whose life was a whirlwind of daring exploits and narrow escapes, who faced off against some of the most dangerous outlaws of his time. His story is often lost in the sands of time, but today we pull back the curtain. This is the story of Bass Reeves, the first black deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi River. Born into the chains of slavery, Bass Reeves' tale is not one of an easy journey. Our hero's story begins in the throes of bondage, where he was born in Arkansas in 1838. When the Civil War erupted, Reeves seized the opportunity to escape into the wild uncertainty of freedom. His flight led him into the heart of the Indian Territory, a land teeming with diverse tribes and languages. It was here that Reeves's survival instinct shined. He adapted, learned, and thrived, picking up several Native American languages along the way. This linguistic prowess, little did he know, was laying the foundation for a remarkable career in law enforcement that lay ahead. In the midst of this unforgiving wilderness, Bass Reeves was not merely surviving, he was transforming. His life was a crucible, shaping him into the man he would become. And here, amidst the harsh wilderness, a hero was forged. With an imposing figure, a keen intellect, and an unyielding determination to uphold the law, Bass took on the mantle of a U.S. Marshal in the Wild West. His career was nothing short of remarkable. Despite facing prejudice as a black lawman, he earned the respect of many for his dedication to upholding the law. Against the backdrop of chaos and danger, Reeves made his mark with an impressive record of more than 3,000 arrests. But it wasn't just the sheer number that set him apart. It was his commitment to fairness and justice, even in a world where these ideals were often trampled upon. Consider the arrest of Bob Dozier, one of the most notorious outlaws of the time. Dozier was elusive, cunning, and deadly, yet Reeves outsmarted him, using his wit and mastery of disguise to finally bring Dozier to justice, or take the time when he had to arrest his own son for murder. Despite the personal pain it caused him, Reeves didn't hesitate. He stood by his oath, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to justice. His reputation grew with each arrest. Criminals feared him, while the law-abiding citizens respected and admired him. He was more than just a lawman. In a world where law-breaking was the norm, Reeves was a symbol of unyielding justice. Reeves brought in some of the most dangerous fugitives of the time. He was never wounded despite having his hat and belt shot off on separate occasions. Reeves served as a U.S. Marshal until 1907. When he retired, Reeves had on his record thousands of arrests of felons. According to his obituary, he killed 14 outlaws to defend his life. But why, despite being one of the most effective lawmen in the Wild West, does the name of Bass Reeves remain largely unknown? The late 19th century was a time of racial discrimination and the romanticized portrayal of the Wild West. Heroes were often painted with broad strokes, decked in white hats, and riding off into the sunset. A black man, no matter how brave or just, rarely fit this narrative. In recent years, however, there has been increased recognition of his contributions, with statues, books, and movies celebrating his life. In 2011, the U.S. Marshals Museum posthumously honored him as one of their famous 5 marshals. The legend of Bass Reeves lives on.